Just once, only once. Just once, only once. Drive down the street, but dad, I drive down the street, but son, you're driving too fast. I only did it once. How many kids of how many fathers and mothers drove down the street only once and hit a baseball in the middle of the road, hit a rock, hit something, and had an accident? Because I know I did when I was a kid, and I'm one that admitted it. Just only one chance. When you have an anxiety, when you have a fear of something, the fear is somebody driving quick in the street and your child might be in the street and he might be the only one, God forbid, and all this that we go on and say. The one and only. So when you have a scare, when you have an anxiety of some sort, an extra worry, you almost feel like you've been in the battlefield. Like for me, to worry about this rent thing now, and I know, I mean, all I have to do is either A, pay it and stay, B, go to court. There is no other option. There is no other option. Everybody knows I can't do this again, because if I could do it again, the meaning of can't means I don't want to get rid of one to have another. I want the same. I will spend the extra $100 a month, way over my budget, of course. Way over my budget is retarded, just to pay the electrical bill. But I know I'm not going to lose to some sort. It's going to go up to some approval. But I'd love to own this building. I think this is a gold mine. But not only that, it's my relationship to my project. And what I want to show you in this is walk. I just looked at all your stuff, all those little notes. I didn't understand the note walk S and C. I didn't understand it, you know, but 1 and 9 comes up over here. What is 1 and 9? It's a combination. It's a combination of O, the 15th letter, 1 and 5 equals 6, and D, the 4th letter. They're both creating 2 odd numbers. 2 even create 2 odd. If you take the letter M, the 13th letter, okay, and you take D, the 4th letter, they are both. The 13th and the 4th letter will create 17. 2 evens create an odd. Do you ever see that before? The 13th letter, right? 1 and 3 equals 4. The 4th letter, that's 4. 4 and 13. How about 4 and 4 equals 8? MDV, motor division of vehicles. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take first, second, and third. And it was really cool, walk, when you put I and R together, I just started to see man, birth, resident, spirit, time. This says the sky. It also says electric company in Hoover Dam, Las Vegas, representing Herbert Hoover, 31st president, altered current, and also the 30th president, because Grover Cleveland once removed because he's up there twice, drops as president to the 30th, and all the presidents fall down one. I have something really neat I saw yesterday. I'm going to show you in my next video. We have black, and we have one black, the total of 6 and 26, all in between. IRS is all red. Okay, IRS creates 46. 0, Zion, 1.5, all relationships to Mars. Equaling to the correct time, 6 times 12, 6 times 12. Because that's where it all starts. 7 times 12 is the gateway. 14 times 6, 7 times 12. 14 times 6 equals 5, 6. 6 times 12, 6, 3. 5, 6, 6, 3. 3, 5, 6, 365 days, win a big red sun in your birth DNA. Second, we collect 41 DNA to artificial intelligence. Give me the time. 6. Time heaven, because I am third. You know when you come to fourth, the TH goes from the front to the back? Keeps the same word. Changes the word from 1, changes the word from 2, keeps the 2 TH for 3, and then jumps on to fourth. But only starts TH on 4th Street. 28. 60 count and 28 equals to 32, the freezing point, or 88, the sky. Plus 6 minus 6 because of the 0 over here equals to 88, 94 minus 6. What is Uranus? What is Mars' birth? Okay, and also reverts to 64. Is this the cycle? 28. Creates T, transition, 2 times 8 to plus 8. will equal to 20, 16, and 10, and multiply that again, it equals to 20, and all zeros equals 6. We're back up again. The dog, the queen. We have inside a first, okay, 26 and 46. I have 26. There's 3 letters. Every letter is valued at this letter over here. Did I do that right? 1, 2, 3 letters equals to 81. 1, 2 letters equals to 54. 26 and 54 equals to 80. That should equal to 81, so something's wrong. Hold on a second. 27 and 27 each. Okay, 54. The total of these two is 26. I minus it. It equals to the sun, the dog, which is referred to as also the moon. Okay, the dog moon. Get yourself a bone. And if it's a dog move, get yourself a bone. Why don't we start to think about something to do with Mars? Because the bone holds a moon on each end with the yardstick or the gateway in between, reveling down the throat of the dog, equaling to the sun. Minus and plus equals to your birth and the cycle within the moon. 4 times 7. Give me a 7-game series. 4 balls puts me on base. Put all my 6 men on base. Because when you come into the world, every time God comes back the next day to recreate, he brings man with him. God brought man on day 1. God brought man on day 2. God brought man on day 3, 4, and on 6th day, he brought 6. Do you know that? It's when it was completed. So he brought 1 on the first day, 2 on the second. Then he went to 3. Then he went to 5. Then he went to 8. And I think then he went to 14. Because God didn't just bring 1 man. There's some kind of mathematical equation in there. Do you know what I'm saying? He brought 1. He brought himself. He checked it out. There were none. He brought 1. Whatever time he brought something, he also brought man. He brought spirit every time he walked in. He sewed his way like a cobweb, like a spider. Okay. So anyways, we're going to continue on. We get 46, 81. 81 is Venus and the sun. Zion 0, 1.5 times value in Venus. 2 to the power of 2 and 1/2 the heaven of 8. They call it Zion. Zion 0, Neo 1. Anything to do with 1 we know connects to the moon and resident angel seed because it's H silent replaced with R. It's Rone, the birth of angel resident. Rone, Ronald, Raphael. 135 is electric company. Earth inside Jupiter life. 1 spirit of the red sun. 127, right? 127, 81, 127. This becomes 8. This becomes 1. This becomes 1. This becomes 9. Artificial intelligence, heaven, resident angel. AIR, Ray. It already says Ray. Rage, Reagan, Reginald. More or less, but let me play with the words. 81 and 46, because there's 81 and 46. 54 and 26, I remove it. I take 6 from 1, I get 5. I get 4 from 8, I get 4. These numbers from where they are now the passage. They call it the foxhole in the sun. Understanding what that communication in the army was, that foxhole in the sun. 54 is the sun, where the dog got its bone between 2 moons, and you now have the freezing point. 7 and 1, the gateway. 5 minus 2 is 3. 6 minus 4 is 2. That is your entry. We revert it the other way. We get 7 and 3. And that is Nibiru. Communication in Nibiru, coming back to the beginning. We go into 19. 19 is a representation in the word second. We have 19 and 41. And I get that off in 1941. Artificial spirit. Add on DNA. Add on DNA. Take off a strand, add on a strand. This becomes 62, but the reality of this is not really 62. Right? You take off 9, you get 8. You take off 1, you get 7. You have the gateway. Inside resident angel, you have artificial intelligent gateway. Inside of Venus, these are all Venus numbers, right? Because they're all calculated to 3 letters. Each letter is 27, 27, 27, 27. It's simple, advance, and reverse mathematical count of the alphabet from A to Z, 1 to 26, and then from Z to A, 1 to 26 again, 26 and 1 together. Valued number is, the Z is valued at 1 and 8, and the 8 is valued at 1 and 8. B okay, is valued at 2 and 25, 225. 15 times 15, the creation circles in Mars. 9 times 25. And there's other ways to make 225. 22.5 is the individuals times 4, equaling to a quadrant, right? An area square, right? An angle square, 22, 22, 22.5. 4 times, 4 times, 4 times, 4 times. 4, 8, 12, 16, equaling to the sky, purple sky. Whatever that purple sky might mean, it might mean bringing colors together. We have the freezing point, we have the gateway 7 and 8. Uranus, Neptune, reverse Earth, and Venus. This equals to 5, this equals to 6, this equals to 5. This will turn into the gateway, this one over here. When you run into third, you run into 28, time heaven, and 4 is 32. 3 numbers, and it's 32. So the missing part is 49. 7 times 7, the gateway THD. 27 in 2 letters to 54. If you minus 27 by 54, I want to do this calculation so you can understand it. There's 2 letters over. There's 2 letters over here, right? I and R. In third and in first, I and R. I and R. There's a T inside of this one. There's an I and R and a T. All you're left with 619. Now we can do a lot of things with this. Okay, I can say this, and this to me is equivalent to artificial intelligence through the moons of whatever exists around Saturn. Saturn, Saturn, and Mars. You reverted at 619, 60, and 9 times 6 is 54. The clock of time. This plus 6 equals to 120, the gateway. Let's get away from that. Let's go to I and R equals to 27. Total, 2 letters is 54. We add it together is 81. We minus this. 7 minus 4 is 3. 5 minus 2 is 2. We end up in BC creation. Next to the freezing point, 9 degrees below the freezing point. 9 degrees Celsius equals to 9 and 9 is 18. Plus 32 equals to 50 minus 20%, which is 1.8, equals to 48.2 degrees. And that would say Beta Pluto, that would say Mars Neptune, that would say creation 3, or just put 3 and 2, Earth and Venus. Back to Earth and Venus. 90 is your birth. This 9 difference. The only differences you'll ever get is 9, 18, 27, and 36. Those are the only differences you can ever see. The total of all time is this. This is 1/4 of time. 288 is total time plus the core. 1.25 divisional time. I'm thinking it could be Earth time. I'm not sure. But every 4th year, right? Every 4th year creates a total of 5, right? You get a leap year. If 360 was a year, if 300 was a year, but every 4 years equals to 5 because the leap year says so. It says give them an extra day because they got the extra year. You have 4 years times 1.25 equality to the year equals to 5. Now the question is 300 and how many days? Times 4 equals to 1440. That is the clock, right? 168, add another 24. That is the hours in the week. You find out the difference to find out how we can turn our 4 years with the leap year into a reality of 5 years. Raphael showing you different ways to count. Let's do something again. 81 and 41 became, you add it, this 8 and 4 becomes 12, becomes 3, you add it. Here I minused it, right? Here, what did I do? Hold on a second. There's something missing over here. I don't know how I got this 32, but over here, if I minused it, it should be 40, right? But if I oh no, 32, I got the same answer. But if I minused it, 81 minus 41, Here I would have 0, right? Here I would have 4, right? But all zeros equal 6, I now get 46. So now when you ask the question, what happens when with the same numbers match, you automatically get 6. You get a reflection world. So this one, instead of it being 32 in the freezing point in hell, you're now at 46, 1.5 times its value. 14 is the difference to the DNA. This one is 19. It's the other part of the word. It says the gateway. But and all in all, this one ends up to say 9 and 1. This one ends up to say 9 and 5. This one ends up to say these two and these two, 9 and 1. 9, 1, 9, 5, 9, 1, 9, 1. So these are all birth spirit numbers, continuous. Anyways, Raphael, 7286, and understanding the mathematical equations we create to bring other numerological words or stories, history together to see if they sow themselves as a real story. Thank you for watching from the House of Paint.